Listen up, JT Bootcamp made the reaction video. I watched it, but I feel like I could add a little bit more to that because there is more to this 1-minute trailer than what you might expect. What is up, guys? You're tuning in to Nikki MGTV for another military video for all your military video needs. As always, you can hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, or down in the comments below if you have questions. But as always, let's go right into the topic. Also, a live stream coming back 7 p.m. California time, where I'm going to do that. Man, I keep saying right into the topic, but I want to say thanks for everyone's support on Best Military YouTuber as well, because I do appreciate you guys that did vote. So thank you, and I don't need to talk anymore about that. We're just moving on to the positivity of the next round. So let's move on and let's talk about boot camp. What's going on? And yes, it's a basic video. If you guys want to talk about that too, I understand, but there are a lot of people that were wanting this reaction video to be out there.
Get up! Hey, is that how you answer a question?
The first scene of the second where they're yelling at him, the two recruit division commanders, he is in the P-way, passageway, whatever you're going to call that, the entrance of boot camp. Now, if you guys don't understand, you're like, what is going on? Why are they being yelled at? The person that's at the hatch or the entrance of where that P-way is at, where people first come in, that's where you are standing watch. And that's where you are going to log everything as far as what's happening within the compartment, if anything's off place or wherever it's at. But it's also where you greet every single person. This area and this watch is honestly one where if you're bad at rank recognition, meaning their collar devices, if you're bad at general orders, if you're bad at the basic military knowledge that they ask you typically as they walk in, they are going to lay into you. And also you have to sound off appropriately. I want to say that the beginning of boot camp, they know you don't know this stuff. There's a phrase that you say and you have to read it off of the board. They do not care if you read it. You don't have to, you should memorize it because I think it's like 2 or 3 sentences. But if you don't know it, read it. Look like an idiot, but at least say it correctly. So literally, as you're saluting to whoever's coming in, just make sure you're not messing up the words. They'd rather you be right than try and stumble and be wrong. So that's my tip for that, to not be yelled at. And
you guys class discipline today!
the petty officer that's there wiping off the rack, whatever he had on there, that, in my opinion, from what I've experienced in boot camp, was much more mild. If you guys don't understand, your A and B drawer, which is your drawer which has everything that you need inside of it, your writing materials, your soap, shampoo, deodorant, if you leave that unlocked, the recruit division commander has access to go into it. So they tell you to keep that locked all the time, and that's also because in the military, you want to lock your stuff up. So if you pull that out, they can throw that thing across the room, which I've seen done before. I've seen beds stripped, flipped over, tables flipped. There's a lot more intense things. It does look like this one will be more intense. And I'm breaking down every scene that I can see from this. It looks like they're doing push-ups. My experience in boot camp, never did push-ups. We did mountain climbers, we did bodybuilders, we did all these other things that incorporated a phase of the push-up, but we did not do push-ups. So as far as that goes, it is interesting to see that they've incorporated push-ups. I'm not sure if you guys had that in your boot camp. Again, I went many years ago.
You work an 18-hour day, and then you're back in the next day, 0400.
The RDCs, which I'm going to be talking on very soon to give you guys a lot of in-depth knowledge about the boot camp stuff that you want to know, that I think is more context that's up-to-date, A, and B, is going to be more entertaining and knowledge-based for you guys to maybe learn or remember before you actually head out. And I'm not going to disclose sources or any of that stuff. We'll talk later. And if you're the RDC that's watching this, hopefully we can link up very soon once you start going through your whole process. But the recruit division commanders, you will have 3 of them. You have usually a lead one, like the top one. You got the middle one, and then there was like the lowest one, if that makes sense. The person that's pretty much the newest. As far as 24 hours a day, you have somebody there. That includes, they're going to have someone standing watch for one of the recruit division commanders that roves around the building. They're going to have all these other people. So it is high stress, tons of hours, and that's why I would not choose that job. I probably won't ever be able to choose that job because my role as an independent duty corpsman, there's such a demand for other places for us to go than to go become a recruit division commander.
You're not looking, man. Look!
We put stress on them here, yelling at them here 24/7. They'll understand.
That girl that is yelling, she's carrying a briefcase. Now, she is right by where I believe medical is at. There's a little corner area, and it's near Freedom Hall and also where the medical building is at. These people are walking around base. So FQA is something that is fleet quality assurance. They are going to have this briefcase. It's going to have a red badge on the outside of it. And these people ensure that the recruit division commanders are training you guys appropriately to the standard that they have been taught. Editing note while I'm here, I want to say that also if you are caught, for example, if you're not running, double timing is what we call it, from one place to the next when you are by yourself, not in a element format of a small group or your division, that they can give you, I believe they're called demerit chits, and you do not want those because they will reflect on your division. So doing the right thing even when your recruit division commander is not there will be impeccable. So realize you are being watched 24/7 even if you are not with your recruit division commander. So keep that in mind. If you guys ever stand that watch that I was discussing earlier, you will learn very quickly. As the phone rings, you'll be very nervous. Someone from the ship staff, the people that are selected from each division to work the front quarterdeck area as people enter in and out of the building, will probably call you and tell you the classic phrase, "Sharks are in the water."
When they get to the fleet and something goes bad, they'll be able to handle all that pressure and all that stress.
Now!
First cup of the day. Yep, it's time.
I tell my recruits, you don't quit on us, we won't quit on you.
What do you mean if I don't put on them is doing what you're supposed to do. A lot of you guys are going to have to start as a division, come together, figure out the hierarchy of who is who, RPOC, AROC, whatever that stuff is as far as boot camp goes, and actually come together and start being able to predict or gauge what the recruit division commanders are going to want and understanding your routine. So a lot of people are like, can I wake up early before they even come in? Yes, you can. Get your uniform on, shave, all that stuff, because the faster you can get to your next training evolution, the better you can do on your fitness test. That all these things are going to factor in to how hard they are on you. If you're not doing what you're supposed to do, if you're not passing fitness tests, if people are failing the written test, they will start drilling you guys a lot harder on those things to make sure you get better at them.
You got to come in and give us 100% every day.
Get louder!
It looks like it's from the boot camp perspective of the recruit division commander that you are going to see versus the previous series of making a sailor, which was from the recruit standpoint. So you're going to get a very good mindset and in-depth knowledge maybe of what they go through and what they're going to be expecting of you if you go to boot camps. I know that I talked a lot over the entire video, but I broke down a 1-minute trailer scene by scene. So I'm excited to react to this. I know that everyone's military journey through boot camp, through A school, through all that stuff, it's like a fingerprint. Each one is very unique and different, which is why so many military YouTubers can make several different forms of content, which we obviously support here on this channel. And if I didn't make that obvious enough, we support them. So you guys watching this content has really helped boost the encouragement for everyone to make content and videos and educate you guys as well and show interest in what we do. So I appreciate it. If you do have questions about the military, you can always hit us up on Instagram, Snapchat, or down in the comments below. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.